Hi, my name is Matti Bauer. It's really Matilde Bauer. And for the election, when I decided to run, I plugged in the Herrera, so they call me Matti Herrera Bauer. And I've lived here for about 40 years. I'm married, or was married. My husband passed away, Richard Bauer. And together we have 4 children. My oldest is Manon Marie, and the other one is Lisa. My husband Richard had a girl also named Lisa, so I have 2 Lisas in the family. And then I have a Laura, which interesting enough was my mother's name. And I wanted to name my oldest daughter Laura for my mother, but my then husband didn't want to do that. So we would have had 2 Lauras and 2 Lisas, which would have been funny. I think every woman brings changes. We think differently than men, and we focus on different things. So I think that we bring a lot of the table. I brought a lot of changes. I brought the Pride Parade, which, interesting enough, we were so ahead of our time. We've never had a Pride Parade for the gay and lesbian community, and we brought that. I brought for the education, I really brought with the commission, because everything has to be incorporated with the other people that vote on things. The baccalaureate program. We worked very hard on the baccalaureate program for every child, not a track, because tracks sometimes leave certain children out. The children all should be taught the same. And I refuse to spend money from the city if it didn't touch every child in the community. I did a lot of affordable housing while I was there. That was also something that is really very high on my agenda, because there's a lot of people that cannot afford the rents, and they do work. I think I educated a lot of the commissioners, not me myself. Nancy Liebman was with me working hard in the community also at that time, and we worked together at that time very well. I think that activism, it's extremely important. I think it comes with the freedom that we have. I think it should be part of our life to help others that maybe don't have a say or a word. I think that my involvement in preservation was activism. I think that made an impact. Barbara Kappenman was the vision, and we all jumped in and helped. Nancy was another one that was there with us. And that created a new face of Miami Beach. I think that without the activism that occurred by many people at that time, it would not have happened, and I was included in that. I think activism, even as a commission or a mayor, you still could be speaking for those that cannot or don't know or are afraid to speak up. And if you're in tune with your city, you can actively, in a form of making laws, in a form of giving, you're active and you're still an activist. I did education PTA. I was PTA president of Fisher-Feinberg, Nautilus, and Beach High. Nautilus more than once, and Beach High more than once, because at that time nobody wanted to take it. I started the PTA in Fisher-Feinberg because when I got here with my daughter, there was no PTA, and it was a whole deal to get that going. And so that made an impact in the school. I started a lot of other things, that affordable housing. I sat in the commission of affordable housing of the Housing Authority before I was a commissioner, and after I was a commissioner and a mayor. I decided that I want to go back and make an impact there as an activist. So activism comes in many voices and faces. There's a lot of people that are not recognized that does big impact in how we live and what we do. You know, I don't know, because I didn't do things for legacy. I think a lot of people, at the beginning when I got elected, I thought my legacy was going to be that I asked the tough question. Because people used to stop me on the street for a long time and say, you ask the best questions. Because when you're a commissioner and the bureaucrats speak in a different way, nobody knows what they're saying. And of course, I didn't know what they were saying either. So I would ask the question, what do you mean by that? And they would have to go into and change the way of, and if I didn't understand what they changed it to, I would ask again. So I asked a lot of questions, and I think that's one of the legacies that I have. It was the way I question. Even now, I go out there and they say, oh, if Matti would ask a question, you know you were dead. Because I would bring out, it wasn't that I premeditated the question. People thought I asked on purpose. I didn't. I asked because I didn't know what they were saying, you know. And to some of the lawyers, I was kind of rude, and I would say that in English again, because I don't know what you said, you know. And I didn't. And then people knew what was going on, and people appreciated that. So I think that a lot of people that were here then recognized me, and for many years they kept saying, you keep asking the questions, keep asking. Even though when I ran for mayor, there was a flyer sent out, what do you mean? Tell me again. I don't read, you know, because sometimes I would ask a question and the answer from the person, which usually was staff, and they would say, it was in the agenda. And I would say, I didn't read the agenda, tell me, you know. And so that was very good. I remember that very much. I think legacies that I have done is education, preservation, affordable housing. I mean, you know, but I think that my daughters and my husband are my biggest legacy, my granddaughters. You know, they will keep going, and I hope I set an example for them.